Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video I'm just going to be showing you the Smoke and Mirrors Magic Shop from Limax and sort of my opinions and thoughts on the piece, just in case anyone else was thinking about buying it and installing the fence. I think it's a shame that building buying now is starting in like July and I'm still like, oh, just get out Halloween decorations in October, late September, whatever, but it's happening now in the summertime, which is a bit too early for me. And Christmas stuff is already available now in October, so it's just for me it's a bit out of whack. But I picked this piece up like a day or so ago. I still had a few in my Michael's near me, and I was really excited for this piece because I had seen how it had the Pepper's Ghost illusion on the inside, which I think is really neat since I'm a big Disneyland fan. They also have the staring bust illusion, so it's like the face follows you around when you're looking at it. I think the camera does a better job at seeing this illusion than a real person does. I don't know, it might just be me. And then you also have this mirror illusion on the side, which is pretty neat. And then you have like the swirly things there on the inside windows. And then I really like the little doves that are on the top because it's reminiscent of some of the older buildings that had like bats flying around or like ghosts. So I like having the doves because they're kind of a unique take on things. And I like the illuminated signs and stuff. I think it looks nice. A big problem that everybody's been saying is this rabbit, which is very annoying. And I also am noticing the fact that a lot of the newer Limax stuff doesn't seem to have a light or anything synced to the music or soundtrack, because this is actually a switched light. If you listen to it, there's like little clicking noises, and I notice if the rabbit is fully held down, even when it should be popping up, the light will stay off until the rabbit's actually popped. So this is not even synchronized to a soundtrack or anything. This is actually switched by the rabbit. So there's not actually any fading lights or anything that's synced to talking, which I think is a missed opportunity. I think this would have been better having a fading light or something that was with the talking of him, because he is in the soundtrack. So I think that's a bit weird. They don't have anything, and I don't know why the ghosts don't fade in and out. It's a bit weird that they just like pop and then go away, and then they like pop, sort of like the rabbit. And then you have sort of this glowing fading light there. A gripe I have with a lot of the modern Limax stuff is the fact they have all these warm white lights. I could put this in my Christmas village and it would look sort of okay. Because if it's too inviting, I think, with these warm white lights everywhere, like why? This should be like a creepy red or something for the rabbit. Like, have it be more spooky. I don't know why they have all, like, this is ugly, the fluorescent white. So if I keep this building, I'll probably be doing an overhaul on it. Like this building, even the Horde Haunted Hotel wasn't even that bad. But again, I changed out lighting on it so that it's more creepy. So I have like this this darker red light, and I have a fading light here, which is actually built into the original computer chip. So now it's not just always on, but occasionally. And I changed these all out to be black lights. I think they were originally partially green and stuff. This one in here was brighter, which I dimmed down. Just adding more to the creepy vibe of things versus just having it be so bright. At least they do have one black light. I think they had two. They also have this one. So they have at least a couple black lights, but why with the warm whites and the bright whites? The only good use for bright white lights, in my opinion, is lightning. I don't think that they should be using it as a prominent lighting feature. Even the ghosts, I think I would have them be blue. Like have bright blue, which I haven't even seen on that many Limax buildings. I can't even really think of one off the top of my head that uses blue lights. Not ultraviolet, but actual blue color. I don't know, maybe it's just because the buildings I have, most of them are the black light, lightning kind of vibe of things, but yeah, again, like this one. I really like the theme of this because I'm a big telephone nerd, and I had to get this building. I'll definitely be overhauling this one. I like the way it looks, and I think with some creepier lighting, it'll really pop and look nice. And I'm planning on actually adding some effects to it, actual lighting effects versus them just all being on. I think it still is nice. One of my bigger problems I actually have with this piece, though, is the size. Because I could honestly get past the lighting and the rabbit, because since I like to spruce up and modify and help keep my Limax buildings going, I don't necessarily mind having to disable the rabbit and changing out the lighting to make it creepier. The size on this thing, though, is huge. And I just can't... It still bothers me. Because I was curious, I had actually filmed already another video, and I decided not to post it since I wanted to get out a few more of my Limax buildings to compare it to. I've been a bit behind this year since I've been doing a lot of other projects. I haven't really had time to get out my village, and so this isn't even my usual display area, but I wanted to get out a few more buildings to compare it to, such as the Horrid Haunted Hotel. This thing is bigger than the Horrid Haunted Hotel, which is just bizarre. It doesn't make sense. So it's like comparing it to buildings, if you have a nice little street layout, and it just doesn't make sense. It's like a theme park ride or something, maybe taking up this much size. I think this thing is probably like the same size as Isle of Doom, which I don't have out currently, but just going off the sheer height and width, I mean, it's almost probably as big as Isle of Doom, and Isle of Doom seems undersized for what it is, with it being like an island, versus this is just supposed to be a shop. And I think it would almost have been better if this was like an emporium, or is like a Spooky Town emporium, or library and magic shop, or something, because I don't even understand the Pepper's Ghost Illusion, honestly, with what they did. I think it would have been creepier having her and this magician guy on the inside, and having them be there, and then having the Pepper's Ghost Illusion be where she disappears, or have like a spirit of her floating up and she disappears. Like, you have something with that, and then having the full scene close, where it just goes dark, and then it reappears, and you see her, and like you have an illusion going on. Whereas you have like a library scene with some ghosts there, like picking out books. What is this doing in a magic shop? Like, maybe they're magic books or spells, but this doesn't really seem like related at all. And so I just wish that it was smaller, because I like the building and I want to have it in my layout, but it just feels wrong with it. Like, the Horrid Haunted Hotel is a hotel, which actually has a staircase and, you know, rooms in it, and it's supposed to have people. It's a hotel, so it should be bigger. And, like, so the Horrid Haunted Hotel compared to, like, a house seems properly proportioned enough, with, like, Last House on the Left. You know, it feels okay. Even this one, which is new from Limax this year, feels in proportion with things, where it's actually like a smaller size building. This just feels weird, because it's like so huge and feels really plasticky, with like just the way it looks, it just seems like a giant plastic toy almost, versus a building that is part of the village. And it's just a shame because I really, really want to keep this piece, and I really want to love it. With the illusions it has, I think is really unique, and I really like the uniqueness of it, because Leemax hasn't done that before, but it's just too huge, because they're trying to make it like worth $200 or whatever from Michaels. I don't know, it just feels like it doesn't need to be. I'd be happy to pay still a good amount for one that actually fits in scale with the buildings correctly. Or, you know, like, I don't think it needed to be quite this big. I get that they had to have this room sort of the way it is with the Pepper's ghost illusion, because the ghosts are on the side and then you have a mirror here. I also think it's a bit odd they don't have a pane of glass or something there. So I understand that sizing. And then it kind of also juts out on the back weirdly, which is again sort of related to that room scene, which I can get behind since it's a Pepper's ghost illusion. I like that. I can understand that well enough. But then, did we really need this with the rabbit especially? Like, maybe just have cut this part of the building off and just made it this weird tower with the magic. But I would have almost even brought this roof down, like made the roof really come down to just here, make it shorter. I don't know, I feel like it's just a bit odd, because I really want to like the building, but it just feels weird because I don't know, it's just too big, and I don't know, I kind of think if I were to modify it, then maybe I would like it more, but still I feel like the sizing, it's huge. And I'm kind of thinking, like, is it possible to redo these signs, like make it library with this door, like this goes upstairs to a library, and then retheme it, like custom redo it. I sort of did some of that on the Horde Haunted Hotel, like I repainted it with ultraviolet reactive paint and stuff, kind of made it more customized. Most of what I do though is just lighting and motorization sort of repairs or modifications. So I kind of think I will be doing a video talking about disabling that rabbit, because I feel like it's a shame not being able to at least have this piece running. But the rabbit is so annoying having it in the background all the time. So I think I will be doing a video at least talking about disabling the rabbit, and then I might end up selling the piece because I just don't know if it fits with my village. It's a shame. I mean, I might keep it. I don't know. I'm honestly undecided. Leave your comments down below what your thoughts are, and if you have any other questions I can answer. Hopefully, depending on my schedule, I might be able to do a video soon talking about how to disable it. I know I'm kind of late on the bandwagon since it's already October and people already have probably all of these purchased. So anyway, thanks for watching, and be sure to check out my other videos on my channel.